Jesus, what ended up happening here with the first son? I thought everything was all done and dusted. No, he was going to get that sweetheart plea deal, make all of his legal troubles go away until a judge looked at that and it's like, oh, prosecute, you guys are like in on this, huh? You expected me to go ahead and sign off on this stuff? Yeah, I don't really think so. So for all of these histrionics, because, okay, apparently the judge inside the federal courtroom, which, and guess what, spoilers, cameras not allowed like the state court is, so we're just hearing this secondhand. She apparently looked at this and went like, tear this up, and had this long diatribe, which, for judges to have very flamboyant outbursts, not all that uncommon. It's just, lady, who are you playing to? You know that they're just going to go and they're just going to go judge shop and everybody's all in this together. This is just a little speed bump on the path of Hunter Biden getting totally exonerated. Like, what are we doing here? But anyways, it's a good development that there at least is some sensible people left in the judiciary. Stunned onlookers gasp as Hunter Biden's sweetheart plea deal crumbles in court. Well, this version of it, okay? You probably got to get, longer community service. You might have to pay a little bit larger of a fine. Like, come on now, he's not going to get thrown into fucking San Quentin. Like, let's not get completely ahead of ourselves. Spectators at the federal courthouse were left stunned after, oh yes, the private citizen, that is Hunter Biden, turned up in a giant motorcade. Like, what the hell is actually happening here? There it is, okay? Hunter Biden, hey man, he's completely, totally, 100% just an independent guy. He just happens to have the last name Biden. Meanwhile, outside the courthouse, they had to cordon everything off. It's just a little strange, okay? First son, Hunter Biden, was driven to and from the federal courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware in a motorcade comprising about half a dozen SUVs Sunday, drawing outrage from conservatives. The first son's appearance was intended to cement a controversial plea agreement for misdemeanor tax violations and a felony firearm charge. That went awry following a dispute between the prosecutors. We'll get to that momentarily, but the elaborate security detail accompanying the 53-year-old triggered Twitter grousing over taxpayers' footing the bill for the convoy. Exactly, man, because he's just a private citizen, bro. Come on now. Other detractors also questioned whether the security detail was necessary. Yeah, exactly, because this investigation and this trial has been going on in the background for months at this point in time. Has he had to have this detail time and time again? Like, okay, every close member of the first family does have security provided by the Secret Service. So that's not something unusual. It's just the length to which that he got this type of detail. Like, what were they expecting? I guess it's better to be safe than sorry, but it's a little bit overboard for a private citizen. Hunter Biden seriously has a motorcade. Is that normal, or do they just do that to help transport his coke? No. They just leave it at the White House and make you believe that nobody knows whose blow turns up one of the most important buildings in the country. Self-described TikTok influencer Sarah Sizzle tweeted, oh my god, that's way too much AIDS in one sentence. Taxpayers just funded Hunter Biden's motorcade arriving to his court appearance, where he's expected to admit he didn't pay his taxes. The DOJ just spit in his face and told you it was raining. Brianna Morello. Yeah, some trad thought. Who cares? Hunter Biden taxpayers. Why Hunter Biden's, third time's the charm, taxpayers paid for Secret Service motorcade only proves his father's love for his son, conservative commentator and contributing editor to The Spectator, Stephen L. Miller, tweeted, riffing off fawning headlines about the relationship between President Biden and his offspring. I love my son. I'm really happy about my son. Let me tell you more about Bo. But back to the plea deal that never was. At one point, Hunter's lawyer, Chris Clark, you guys remember him, right? He's just one of the many members of Hunter's defense team. Which I know, especially somebody as well connected as Hunter Biden, it's not totally out of the realm of possibility that he has an all-star defense team. Like, come on, he's an accomplished painter, okay? He's got a very illustrious role on many energy panels throughout the Eastern world. Like, this is a very accomplished guy. Like, why does he have an inside track with one of Hollywood's most accomplished lawyers? Somebody who seems to have a lot in common with Hunter, because after a brief meeting, that was immediately what happened afterward. Like, wait, what? What the fuck is going on? Hunter Biden's bong-smoking Hollywood lawyer, Kevin Morris, has flown to Serbia There we go. To gain access. I wanted to say Siberia, but it's like, that doesn't all make sense. To gain access to a set of film about the president's son and paid a $2.8 million tax bill on his behalf. But before he became publicly entangled with Hunter and his often seedy affairs, Morris, 60, was a Hollywood attorney known for running a prestigious law firm that took on some of the industry's most high-profile cases and clients. Famously negotiated a pair of contracts totaling $1.4 billion for the South Park creators Trey Parker, Matt Stone, cool, whom he had met at the Sundance Film Festival in 1994. Their friendship blossomed, and later won a Tony Award as a producer of their blockbuster musical, The Book of Mormon. Wow, weird Dylan Mulvaney tie-in with that one. Throughout his career, Morris has represented various Hollywood elites, including Courtney Cox, Matthew McConaughey, as well as TV executive Doug Herzog and producer Tom Lassley, but probably nobody who has deeper connections in more places than Hunter himself. Probably that missing plug that he needed. But anyways, another member of the defense team for Hunter, Chris Clark, threatened to tear this up now if prosecutors didn't meet his conditions. Apparently a bid for blanket immunity for his client. Sorry, what? U.S. District Judge Maryellen Noreika, who set a follow-up court date for August 25th. Oh, you could just go out there. You little scamp, enjoy the rest of summer. We'll get back in here right before Labor Day. Don't worry about it. Had been expected to quickly sign off on the Biden Justice Department's deal with Hunter, but instead of proceedings began to break down at about 90 minutes into the 3-hour hearing. A gasp emerged from reporters and interested attorneys sitting in the gallery after Noreika asked Assistant U.S. Attorney Leo Wise if there was an ongoing criminal investigation involving Hunter, as Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss has consistently said. And spoilers, Weiss replied, yeah. Fuck. Yeah. And added that the first son's defense team thought otherwise, then there's no deal. Man, Joe's going to be so mad, but that's all right. 20 minutes later, he'll forget all of this stuff happened. Clark responded, as far as I'm concerned, the plea deal is null and void. Leaving attendees stunned and causing some journalists to rush out of the courtroom to brief their colleagues. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh my God, the facade is up, guys. An attempt to resurrect the deal following a 20-minute break failed when Noreika said she needed time to analyze the terms of the revised bargain. Yeah, of course. We just got to add a few hours on the community surface, and I guess he can't own a gun for, 5 years? 5 years good, even though that the last time he legally purchased a firearm, he couldn't properly fill out the paperwork that his party affiliation would somehow think would solve the gun violence epidemic in Southside Chicago, because, all of those shootings happen with legally and lawfully purchased firearms being held by legally and lawfully accredited firearms enthusiasts. Right. So he couldn't do it, but he should also just be let off the hook, right? He's just a boy. He's just 53 years old. He'll grow out of this. Hunter was stone-faced throughout the proceedings. Stoned? Oh, stone face, right. My mistake. It's an easy one to make. And passed the time doodling during one exchange between Weiss and the judge. The initial deal crumbled over two sticking points: whether Hunter could face additional future charges, first, such as for allegedly working as an unregistered foreign agent. Oh, you don't say. Wonder why the Department of Justice wanted to go ahead and just hurry up with this plea deal so that Hunter couldn't be used as a witness in a potential investigation against his father. All these proceedings, they're all cleaned up. We have no open investigation. No, it's totally fine. We're done and dusted with the first son. Don't even worry about it. All of this was just in anticipation if anything was going to go sideways with Joe, which seems to be ever the more likely the longer the congressional hearings continue on. And whether the two misdemeanor counts of failure to pay taxes could be decoupled from the felony charge of possessing a weapon while addicted to a controlled substance. The first son's case, crack cocaine. Exactly. Is there a more particular way that we could do this, where you could just go ahead and parse everything off? Yeah, I guess. Oh my God. Again, don't be surprised if on August 25th, this all comes back and she looks at this and goes, okay, great, fantastic. Under the terms of the unusual agreement, some people say unusual, others say just blatantly flaunting power in front of everybody's face. Hunter would only receive 2 years probation on the gun charge rather than prison time. Well, yeah, exactly. It's a first-time offender. right? Sure. And yo, it's been a minute since he's gone to a tailor, apparently. That's looking tough, my guy. Noreika repeatedly expressed skepticism of the first deal, asking at one point, have you ever seen a diversion agreement that's so broad that it encompasses crimes in another case? And the judge queried Wise about whether he knew of any precedent for such a deal. The prosecutor replied, no, Your Honor, but this is unprecedented. We're living in unprecedented times, Your Honor, so we had to go ahead and offer an unprecedented plea deal. I mean, come on. The first son. Nobody goes after the first son. Come on. I thought we had an agreement here, okay? Let me tell you about how bad the orange man is, okay? Can we just all agree on this for a second? If I were to reject the plea, what happens? Noreika also asked, to which Wise replied that the case would go to trial with the possibility of additional charges, and we wouldn't want that to happen to Hunter, now would we? Can we just get some time, Your Honor, to go back and revise some stuff, and you can look it over? Your input would be very much appreciated, and we can go ahead and tailor this so we could take care of this right here in Brainerd. I'm not aware of additional charges, Clark rejoined. The U.S. attorney met for 5 years going through my client's taxes on a line-by-line basis. They pursued it, and unbelievable diligence and doggedness. I don't think that there are any additional charges to be brought. No, of course not. It's just those goddamn meddling Republicans that are just so mad. And, oh, they just want to go ahead and penalize this man who's on the road to recovery, just being ever so mean about it. Come on now. Ultimately, both sides agreed that the general parameters of the original deal would remain. See, I didn't even know that was there. I could just already know. It's like, once you've been around this shit for long enough, it just becomes so fucking patently obvious. It's all of the theater up front, when in actuality, it'll eventually get the plea deal under much less ballyhoo in about a month's time, and that it would be specified that Hunter would face no further legal exposure over his failure to pay taxes from 14 to 19, his drug use, or illegal gun possession, leaving open the possibility of future criminal counts over purported foreign lobbying, bribery, or other charges related to his dealings in countries such as China and Ukraine. When asked by the judge why he failed to pay taxes even in years that he was not abusing drugs, Hunter claimed, I'm getting my life back together. There was a flood of enormous amounts of oh my God, you just don't even know. I was gonna pay my taxes, but I just got behind, Your Honor. I couldn't get around to it. But I swear though, I was trying though. Any day now. That and the first son's telling, resulting in his failure to pay what IRS agent says was about $2.2 million on $8.3 million in foreign income. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just a little slip up. Don't worry, it won't happen again. We won't bother reporting it the next time around. Hunter also claimed, Noreika, that he most recently was treated for alcohol and drug addiction with inpatient rehab in late 2018. Oh, see, we can't blame him. He's recovering. He's an addict, folks. He initially said the last time using drugs was July 4th of 2023 when he was staring at the fireworks going, yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show, everybody. Yeah, fantastic. Oh yeah. Was in June of 2019. Oh, no, close, a few months apart. This first son later claimed he actually stopped using after getting married to his brother's widow. Oh, no, I'm sorry. May 17th, 2019. Yes, to his lovely wife, who he knocked up, and the kid's no longer allowed to use his name. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the stripper that he knocked up, and now the kid has been disassociated from the Biden family. However, he admitted that he did have a drink or two. Of course, everybody slips up, right? Nobody's perfect, right? We're all creatures of the Lord, right? Come on, nobody's perfect. After that, stated that June 1st, 2019 was his actual sobriety date. Well, that's good. And unironically, I do hope that he stays sober, but also that he's held responsible for the crimes that he obviously committed. As the hearing reached its conclusion, Noreika pressed lawyers on both sides several times about whether she was merely there to rubber stamp the agreement. Everybody just looked around and was like, yeah, did you not get the memo? We're not asking the court to rubber stamp anything. Of course, we're not asking you to do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves, Your Honor. So, yes, just sign the fucking thing. Wise said, well, it certainly seems that way. The judge shot back. Ooh, saucy. Noreika ultimately decided neither she nor the parties were in a position to move forward, giving the lawyers 30 days to resubmit the deal with clear language. See, exactly. This is what's going to end up happening. Once it's all cleared up, it'll just go through and everybody will just be able to shake hands and go have dinner afterwards. And maybe if they find a nice supple rump to do some cocaine off of, we can all get together and have a real fun time. These agreements are not straightforward. They contain some atypical provisions, she noted, before telling attorneys they'd be having you guys talk more makes more sense. Oh, of course, man. Then to Hunter, without me saying, I'll agree to the plea deal. How do you plea? Not guilty, Your Honor, the first son responded. A few minutes later, Hunter exited the courthouse, flanked by Secret Service, got back in his giant motorcade, and then proceeded to bang whatever prostitute the Secret Service picked up on the drive down to the courthouse. So, it looks like we're going to be getting some more information on this at the end of August, but don't be surprised if there's a little bit more obfuscation in the meantime. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.